What's good, YouTube? So today I'm going to talk a little bit about strength training for HEMA, and my views are constantly evolving. They're by no means finalised, but this is one topic I do feel more qualified to talk about than most of the other big HEMA channels out there. So I'm also going to give away a free beginner HEMA strength training program down below, so check that out, especially if you're a beginner to HEMA. But do watch the rest of this video to understand why these particular exercises were chosen and why the program was written the way it is. Also, I'd like to give this opportunity to give a shout out to Unarmoured Force, also linked down in the description box. Really awesome channel. He's criminally undersubscribed, but if he keeps his content up the way it is, he'll probably overtake me in a couple of months. So, I also did a video about the importance of strength training. You've guessed it, also going to be linked down in the description box. Now, my views aren't quite as extreme as they were when I recorded that video originally, but I still do believe that you want to be trying to get as big and strong as you possibly can, provided it doesn't interfere with other aspects of your training, such as leaving you hardly able to walk when it comes to actually having your HEMA lessons. Provided you don't become imbalanced, so getting massive biceps but having small shoulders and that kind of thing, and providing you don't put on too much body fat in the process. So fundamentally, strength training, strength training that is effectively very, very similar no matter what you're doing. There's going to be a big focus on compound movements. You're going to be working somewhere in the 1 to 20 rep range, and there's going to be a focus on progressive overload. So what I'm proposing is, of course, very, very similar. It does all of those things, but there are some differences in how you should be training for HEMA or other martial arts compared with how a powerlifter should be training, for example. So, two big things right off the bat are recovery and efficiency. You don't want to be spending all your bloody time in the gym because you've got lots of other aspects of your training to do. So I'm going to be making this program very efficient and very quick. Again, focusing on the compound movements is part of that as well, rather than doing endless isolation movements. So you want to be able to recover quickly, and you want to be able to get out the gym. You want to be able to get out the gym quickly as well, because you've got other parts of your training to do. There's also going to be more emphasis on forearms. Now, you certainly need strong forearms for powerlifting in order to be able to grip the bar when you're deadlifting and that kind of thing. But there's none of these sorts of movements. There's none of that. There's none of that. And being able to build those muscles for HEMA is particularly important. There's also going to be some unilateral movements in there. So basically that's unilateral as opposed to symmetrical movements. So powerlifting, it's generally all symmetrical movements. So you're bench pressing, perhaps you're doing some overhead pressing to build up your bench as well. Squatting, deadlifting, all symmetrical movements. And the unilateral movements are very important for HEMA because, well, quite frankly, virtually all the movements you do in HEMA are going to be unilateral. And they're also very, very good for building core stability, being able to build twisting power and that kind of thing, hip power. So there's a few of those I'll be including. There's also going to be a few power movements, and there's going to be some endurance work, because obviously that's more important for HEMA than just pure raw strength. Raw strength, yeah, it's important. It's particularly important for grappling sometimes, but generally we want to be building up power, and we want to be building up endurance, we want to be building speed, and strength training efficiently with the right movements will help with that. And finally, there's of course no weight groups in HEMA. It doesn't matter how you look, all it matters is how you perform. So pretty big difference between a lot of other strength sports and how you should be training for non-strength sports. You don't need to be getting excessively lean, you don't need to be trying to fit into a weight category or anything like that. All that matters is how you perform. This does have more to do, obviously have a lot more to do with nutrition than how you train, but it is an important distinction nonetheless. So let's get this started then. We'll start off with the lifts I'd like to see you guys doing and why I'd like to see them done. So I did record all of this at the end of the session. I was pretty damn tired by this point. My form did break down a fair bit, and obviously I'm using lighter weight for tutorial purposes. So yeah, I don't want to hear comments about how shitty my form is. I know it's not perfect in this video, but it should give a basic idea of what the movements are, and I do advise people actually research these movements themselves so they can better perform them when they get to the gym.